How about these 90s, huh?
The 90s tag! Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the 90s tag with my boyfriend Will. If you haven't met him already, we did a boyfriend does my makeup video. I'll link that down below so you can see it. He made me look beautiful. So before we start, I just want to say that I'm younger than him, so I'm kind of like a younger perspective on the 90s, and he is a little bit of an older perspective of the 90s, but we both, in one way or another, grew up in the 90s and remember things from the 90s. So we'll start off with the first one, which is favorite TV show in the 90s. What was yours?
I really enjoyed Bump in the Night. I really enjoyed Tales from the Crypt Keeper. Roundhouse. Was it only supposed to be one?
I guess you could pick a couple if you want, because it's hard to pick one. Mine was probably either Angry Beavers or Rugrats. Number 2, favorite toy. There's a lot of toys.
Mighty Max.
Mighty Max, what was that?
Mighty Max was like Polly Pocket, but
for boys.
But for boys, and way cooler.
Favorite toy was probably Barbies. I had so many Barbies, like a huge bin of them. My sister and I would play with them together. I guess I was just obsessed with Barbies, so it has to be Barbie. Favorite commercial? Crossfire.
Yeah, Crossfire was a great commercial.
Crossfire.
I was also very partial to the Land Before Time Pizza Hut commercials.
I don't think I remember that.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't.
What happened in it?
Kids ate pizza and got Land Before Time toys.
Did they actually get that in real life? Like
they
Pizza Hut gave out toys?
They were little rubber puppets.
Oh, I want one. NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? You probably didn't care about that.
Hanson all the way.
I was...
Savage Garden.
Oh my gosh, yes, Savage Garden. Wanna bathe with you in the sea.
Yeah, throw you off a mountain.
Yeah. I liked NSYNC, but I wasn't against the Backstreet Boys, but I was always listening to NSYNC over the Backstreet Boys. So. 5 is the weirdest fashion trend.
Nothing was weird then. It was just normal.
Just cool.
No, it was just what it was.
But looking back at it, what do you think was weird? You don't think any of it was weird when you look back? You think it's okay? Because like anything...
It is. I think it is what it is. You can't look back and be like, that's weird.
True.
You can't.
True, I agree.
Because this question...
I
don't
really have an answer for it either.
This question doesn't make sense.
Okay, so we'll skip that and we'll go to number 6, which is favorite collectibles.
I collected Pogs, and I collected Marvel trading cards. Marvel Comics trading cards. And Street Sharks. Monsters in my pocket.
I collected Pokemon cards. I had a huge binder. Probably my favorite collectible at the time was Pokemon cards and Barbies. And the next question was one of my collectibles, which is, what was your favorite Beanie Baby? Did you ever collect them?
Didn't have one. They were stupid.
I love them. I even did Beanie Baby bowling, where my sister and we would go bowling, and every time, it's like a team, or not even a league, just like a club. And every time we would go bowling, we would get a free Beanie Baby, and I was obsessed. Like, I think some of mine even had the tag protectors on them. I was like, I just want all the Beanie Babies, all of them. How many Tamagotchis did you go through?
I didn't have a Tamagotchi.
I had one.
I had a Digimon.
A Digimon? Isn't that a show or... Digimon?
Digimon.
Was it like a Tamagotchi?
Yeah, except you battle them.
Ah. So did you have to clean up their poop?
There was Tamagotchis, there was Gigapets.
Mine always died.
Tamagotchi was like
Gigapets, yeah.
Tamagotchi was like the first one that I remember being popular.
And my mom never bought me another, which is smart because like I would just like kept killing them. Just poop everywhere. So what was your favorite game console and the game?
I was always a Sega kid. I liked Sega over Nintendo. And my favorite video game on Sega was probably Comic Zone, where you were a character who was in a comic book, and each level was actually a level of, or a panel in a comic strip, You'd break through panels to get to other levels.
Really?
Or Earthworm Jim was a really awesome game.
I love Earthworm Jim. Oh my god, my aunt had that game and I played it all the time when I went over to her house.
House of the Dead, if you were at the bowling alley by my house. And
by my house?
When I was living in Patchogue.
What was that on?
It was arcade console.
Oh, okay. I liked Sega also, and I liked playing Sonic on there. But then, like, when PlayStation 1 came out, I really liked Crash Bandicoot and also Spyro. Favorite Disney Channel original movie? You probably didn't really watch them, because you're probably too old by the time. You probably weren't into the Disney Channel thing.
Nah, not. I liked Halloween Town.
Oh, yeah.
Halloween Town was cool.
Mine was Pixel Perfect. I wanted to be Loretta. She was awesome, man. Doing her flips on stage, she was crazy, crazy times. Favorite music artist in the 90s?
In the 90s, I was really into Korn, actually. Korn. And Slipknot was very popular.
I remember
Orgy, Limp Bizkit, the Deftones.
I remember putting like Korn t-shirts on my dolls and my dolls makers. If any of you remember doll makers and like dollsmania.com, they would have like Korn all over the t-shirts. Like that was in the 90s when I did them. I think we're actually probably 2000s when I did them. But for the 90s, my favorite music artist was probably like Britney Spears or something like that. Just like kids bop stuff because I was young. Favorite Nick Jr. TV show?
Eureka's Castle.
Yeah.
I'm very fond of that.
I don't know what my favorite one was on Nick Jr. What was on Nick Jr.? I guess Blue's Clues? I guess. And Face was pretty cool, but he wasn't a show. He was just like that middle guy in the commercial. Favorite candy?
Shock Tarts.
Lollipop Paint Shop, or Ring Pops, or Baby Bottle Pops. I can't decide. We talked about this last night.
Butterfinger BBs were really popular. They used to make a drink that had like candy in it. It was called Orbits.
Favorite game? Board game, school game, etc.
Board game or school game?
That's just like it says it in the...
Heads Up 7-Up.
That was the best game to play at school. When you found out you were playing Heads Up, 7-Up, it would be the best. You all put your head down on the desk. If you don't know what it is, everybody puts their head down on the desk, puts their thumbs up, and they have to guess who pushed their thumb down when the people... It's like the 7 up front in the front of the classroom. It was pretty cool. But what about like a board game?
I used to have a board game where you had to build the Frankenstein monster, and if you didn't do it in time, he'd pop up.
That's kind of like what's that game? Where you have to put it all. Not what is it called? What is it called? What is it called?
Operation?
No. Perfection. No. Your thing is kind of like Perfection because you had to put all the pieces into the monster before he.
Yeah,
came
it's
out.
the same premise.
Like in a time, did it have a timer, or you just didn't know when he was gonna pop up?
I had a timer.
Mine would be for a board game. My favorite was probably Sorry. I really liked playing Sorry and Candyland, and also like school games or whatever. It wasn't a school game, but it was like not a board game. It was a game that me and my cousins made up, and we would just, or my sister and I, just family, we would write, we call it the note game, and we'd write or draw pictures on notes and pass them underneath doors and sit there for hours playing the note game. What? Favorite McDonald's Happy Meal toy?
There's other McDonald's, Burger King that had Looney Tunes characters that would turn into superheroes.
What? That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. Probably when they were giving like I think they gave Beanie Babies away, or like mini Beanie Babies or something like that. And did they, like at McDonald's, did they ever give away those like little mini? No, never mind. I'm wrong.
McDonald's used to have
God.
toys, I think in like the late 80s, early 90s, and they were like you'd get a Big Mac, a little tiny little Big Mac, and it would turn into a robot.
What?
It was cool. We had such better things than you guys had. Everything
we had
about
these
the
really annoying
90s.
things from like when a new movie would come out, there'd be toys based on it, and there was this one movie, which I forget which movie it was, but there was this toy, and I guess it was like a dinosaur or something, but I don't think it was Land Before the Time because it was way after that. But it would say, "Where are we going? Where are we going?" The toy would be like a plastic toy, and it had a speaker, and that's what it would say. And there was a point in time where like I got so sick of it because it wouldn't stop playing. It had like a defect, and it just kept saying, "Where are we going?" all day. And my dad like hid it up in like a top of my dresser or something like that, and he like took the batteries out, and it kept saying, "Where are we going? Where are we going?"
Without the batteries.
Without the batteries in it, and it was scary. I remember that. I was so scared, and my sister and I shared a room, and it was just like up in the top, and my parents went to sleep, and it was just like, "Where are we going? Where are we going?" And I threw it out the window. It's like somewhere outside my house. Probably gone now. Next one is favorite book.
Oh, it was, hands down, will always be Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. I read some of them, or tried to. I was like young at the time, but the Babysitter's Club, and then there's like Amelia Bedelia. Did you ever hear about that?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Amelia Bedelia, Babysitter's Club, and Animorphs. Oh, Animorphs books, man.
Do you remember what that show's about? Where that book was about?
Yes, it's when they morph into animals.
Do you remember why they morph into animals though?
Why do they morph into animals?
Or they touch that alien cube.
Uh-huh.
They're like superheroes.
Yeah, they were fighting things. Like they morphed into an animal to fight something.
Yes.
Yeah. Was it like bullies and stuff, like kids?
Oh, from what I remember, that they used that a lot. No.
But like moral, like beat the crap out of bullies, like.
What's the next question?
Okay. Favorite clothing store in the 90s?
Well, I was poor, so we shopped at the thrift store a
Thrift
lot.
stores. That's still my favorite store to get clothes.
I buy all my clothes at the thrift store.
I was probably too young to like go shopping. My mom was buying me things, so.
You probably went to Rainbow a lot.
No, I've never shopped at Rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
I've never shopped at Rainbow.
For all of you who don't know what Rainbow is.
I never remembered any rainbows around me. Where I lived, there was no rainbows, but I think I probably got some style. I don't even know. My mom bought my clothes for me. Really, I guess Macy's. My mom would take me shopping at Macy's, but I didn't really care, like, about clothes. What would you watch when you would get home from school? This is the last question. When you got home from school in the 90s, what would you watch on TV?
Let's see. VR Troopers was a favorite of mine to watch. Big Bad Beetleborgs. They had the Godzilla cartoon. They had Big Guy and Rusty. We had Hysteria, which was a show kind of like Animaniacs.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all history related. Great TV show. Really.
Your little boy loves his TV shows. I would watch...
Freakazoid.
I wouldn't watch that.
Freakazoid was an awesome show.
I don't... Like, when I came home from school, it was like, I would put 33 on, which was Nickelodeon, and they would have, like... What was it called? Where they had, like, the slime, you know? They had that TV show where they have the kids come on.
The slime, you know?
The slime! And Doug. Doug would come on, like, and I would eat cookies and milk, and that's, like, 7 o'clock before I went to bed. Before I went bed. Do you like how my arm's still around you?
No.
So those are all the questions for the 90s tag. If you want to do this video too, then feel free. It's kind of like a survey thing, and it's really fun to reminisce and look back at your childhood, and the 90s were pretty crazy, so I gotta go, bye! That hurts me a lot. You're hurting me.